DC here. Hi, guys and gals. Well, it is Monday, and often on Monday I do a few tags. This week will only be one tag. For the moment, Jasmine's tag has not come out yet, so I'll be doing Dave's last Saturday tag, the 7-question tag. And let's see how I answer these. They might be complicated. Okay, question 1. Do you love or hate surprises? Hmm. I guess it's a love-hate relation. Um, I, I mean, if it's a good surprise, of course I'll like it. But sometimes something happens, and you see something in the mail, or you see somebody, or you get a call or something, and you see who it is, and then you think like, oh goodness, this cannot be good. Um, so more often than not, put it this way, I think I would rather know what's going to happen, because sometimes, even when somebody thinks they're making a good surprise to you, it doesn't mean that it fits in with your plans. Like I say, it's a love-hate relationship. I think, I mean, there's certain things I do love, but overall, I think overall surprises have not always been good. Probably I tend more to not like them than to like them, but yeah, there's no clear-cut answer, as so many questions. Question 2. Have you ever treated your parents to a vacation? Well, actually, yes. And I'm saying it in that way because once, when my brother and sister, I was traveling to Canada, and um, so my brother and sister, to bring my parents to Quebec City. But so we treated them to a vacation, but we were with them. So I don't know if that's exactly in the spirit of what's there, but yeah. So I mean, because we saw that probably, my dad was aging, and I was living in Switzerland, and we saw at one point like, hey, let's do a family vacation, just the kids, with our parents. So we were, of course, adult children and with our parents. But yeah, we did that, and it was good. Yeah. Aside from that, no. I mean, we've been on trips together, but yeah. So to answer the question, that's the closest that I can see that we have done that. Yes, but it was together with my brother and sister. Question 3. Have you ever hurt another person? Well, clearly, I mean, if we're talking about hurt in the sense of physical, or if we're talking about emotional, the answer will be slightly different. Emotional, yeah, I've hurt people. I mean, I've not always been, like I was going to say, as most people, I've done or said stupid things. As far as hurting a person in a fight, for example, it's just basically just happened once. Yeah. Uh, Usually, I mean, when things I tend to walk away, or not take part in the fights. I mean, when I was in grade school, I've had people that have pulled off my glasses and busted them and things like that. Uh, but I mean, I'd have had a lot more of my glasses that would have been busted if I had gone over against that person. But no, once somebody actually stole something from me and didn't want to give it back, and I waited until the class was over, and I went for them, and I went and got what was mine. Um, and I was enraged, I guess, and I beat them up, and got what was mine. I got myself in trouble because the other people, they all, so to say, ganged up on me and told the principal, what a bully I was, and that I had tried to kill somebody, basically, or something like that. And that so I was the one that got blamed for what happened. Uh, but I was basically, it was a type of self defense. Yeah. So, but that's the only real fight, physical fight, I mean, that I've got into. But yeah, I gave it to him good. It was nice because it was one of the bullies in the class. But I paid for it after because I got bullied for the rest of my, I was going to say time in that school. So a few years. Okay, so that was question 3. Question 4. By the way, before I was going to say, I was in grade school. Question 4. Are you willing to wait for the perfect partner, even if it would take a long time? I met my wife. We were, pretty young teens. I was not quite 16. She had just turned 17. Um, and we clicked together. So we did wait in a sense, is that we knew, I guess we decided that very early we decided we wanted to be together. I mean, in really, really young. But we knew very well that it would take a long time before we would be married. So does that count? I guess in a way it's kind of like a partial yes, but in a way it's also no because I didn't wait for any other partner or something like that. So, and I guess for some people the question could be taken in another way, is that do I wait for the perfect partner and let other people pass by and not go further because I'm always waiting for the perfect partner? I don't think I'd have done that because a perfect fit, especially in relations, doesn't exactly exist, does it? So I guess you see what I'm getting at. Probably I wouldn't have if I had not found the perfect partner from the beginning. Okay, question 5. What do you think is the best decision that you have ever made? Well, I guess one of them is, Mrs. DC. But that's not my decision, that's our decision. And actually, from that point on, a lot of the things were our decisions. I would say that probably in that respect, the best decision we ever made, and that you can only see that very often after you've made it, is to have stayed on in Europe. Our life is, I mean, there's ups and downs in everybody's life, but I think that was the best decision for us. As far as work goes, as far as the work environment, studies for Mrs. DC, for myself, for overall, I would say it was probably the best decision to have emigrated to Europe, and add on to that, I mean, having become Swiss. Yeah. Now, question 6. What are the accomplishments that you are the most proud of? Let's see. If I think of professional accomplishments would actually be, let me see, there's 2 times that well, there's more than that actually. There's 4 or 5 or 6 times, but of those times, 2 times that I led international projects. One was with a group in Denmark, and the other one was the last series of like the last 11 years with Ireland. Those are the accomplishments and professional ones that I'm the most proud of. Having brought something up to a clinical, and I would say overall successful clinical tests. And then if I look into personal accomplishments, well, it's not an accomplishment, but I mean, I'm very proud of our family, of our kids, grandkids. So I guess one could almost call that an accomplishment in a way, is that, you bring them up to be responsible adults. But again, I mean, I don't want to take, I was going to say, don't want to take the honors for them. They're their own persons, aren't they? But we had our share to do it anyway. Okay, that's question 6. Question 7. How do you handle uncertainties in life? There's a certain amount of things that you can influence, and if you can influence it, well then, do what you can. If you can't, it's out of your hands. You're not going to be able to handle it. So then you go to a higher authority. They can handle it. So in my case, that would be, going to God, going in prayer. Those are for the uncertainties of which I have absolutely no way of taking control of. And those that I do, I use the same. I use the same method. I mean, I do actually go for prayer and talk about it, with family, with friends, see about that. But uncertainties, like I say, there's many things that you just kind of have to have faith. There's not always much that you can do with some of those things. Like I say, there's those where you have a handle and those you don't. And I just seen something I do have a handle on is I'm up to 11 minutes, so I really have to stop here. So that'll be DC signing off. Thank you, Dave, again. I've just been basically vlogging along in a tag. So, okay, DC signing off. Take care, everybody, and bye-bye.